Another Nigerian billionaire, Rabiu, who happens to be the chairman and CEO of Bua Group, one of Africa's leading foods, mining and infrastructure conglomerates, entered into an agreement sometime ago with Axens of France for the development of its proposed technologies for its upcoming 10 million tons per annum mega refinery and petrochemical facility to be sited in Akwa Ibom State, the southern part of Nigeria. The multi-billion dollars integrated 200,000 barrels per day refinery and petrochemical plant aims to produce Euro V fuels and polypropylene for domestic and regional markets. This landmark agreement was signed between the chairman of Bua Group, Abdul Samad, and the CEO of Axen, Jean Sentenac, in a ceremony that was presided over by France Minister's Delegates for Foreign Trade and Economic Attractiveness. France's largest hydrocarbons group, Axens, won the contract to supply key refinery technologies to the Bua Group. Commenting on the groundbreaking deal, the Bua Group CEO Rabiu said the economics of the project are a no-brainer. Nigeria imports 90% of its petroleum products. Nigeria also spends 35% of its foreign exchange on importing petroleum products. The new refinery, with a capacity to produce about 200,000 barrels per day, is certainly going to be a game changer upon completion. This project is expected to complement the Dangote's refinery, which currently produces about 600,000 barrels of oil per day. The refinery is expected to be built using an undisclosed mix of debt and equity, with several development and commercial banks in negotiations with Bua Group. The project signing came few weeks after Bua Cement announced it was planning to establish a 3 million metric tons per annum cement plant as well as a 50 megawatt power plant in Adamawa State in northeastern Nigeria. The CEO of Bua Group, Rabiu, stated that upon completion, the project will bring the company's total installed capacity to 14 million metric tons per annum. In a recent news that made the rounds on the internet, a lot of sources have stated that the construction of the 200,000 barrels per day refinery by Bua Group is 90% completed. However, Bua Group has actually come out to state that the project is actually in progress, but it is not 90% completed. The management of Bua Refinery and Petrochemicals dismissed claims that its 200,000 barrels per day refinery is at 90% completion. The management, however, went ahead to state that remarkable strides are being made in the Akwa Ibom refinery project, adding that construction is progressing steadily. Whilst the refinery is not at 90% completion stage, Bua Group, however, on the other hand, are on track to meet its delivery timelines in collaboration with other partners. The Bua Refinery and Petrochemical project represents a major milestone in strengthening Nigeria's refining capacity and energy security. The company also went ahead to reveal other energy projects, including the construction of a mini LNG plant and several new hybrid power plants across the country to add additional capacity to its over 1,000 megawatt installed captive power generation capacity. Reiterating its commitment to transparency and excellence, the company cited its consistency with over 12 of its completed mega industrial projects worth over $3.5 billion in the past 10 years. The Bua Group also promised to update the public with verifiable and accurate information only where necessary and as milestones are being achieved. The revitalization of Nigeria's 4 government-owned refineries over time has been unlikely due to a creative destruction process unfolding in Nigeria's petroleum industry. With an inability to produce even 10% of the fuel needed to meet Nigeria's energy demand, Dangote came on board with the 650,000 barrels of crude oil refinery per day. The refinery currently churns out over 100 million liters of PMS daily, surpassing Nigeria's fuel demand by nearly 100%. But that is not all. The Bua Group, a prominent conglomerate in Africa with interest in food, mining and infrastructure, entered into an agreement with France Axen, as earlier stated, to supply process technologies for its ambitious 10 million tons per annum mega refinery and petrochemical facility, which is actually located in Ibeno, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, in the southern part. This massive integrated 200,000 barrels per day refinery and petrochemical plant aims to produce Euro V fuel, as earlier stated, and polypropylene for both domestic and regional markets. Bua Group's chairman and CEO, Abdul Rabiu, stated that this 10 million tons per annum refinery and petrochemical project is in line with Bua's vision to develop local capacity in key industries where they can add the most value and where raw materials can be sourced locally. The project's successful completion will lead to the production of high-quality gasoline, diesel, jet fuel meeting Eurovi specification for Nigeria and the wider region, reducing Nigeria's reliance on imported fuel and petrochemicals. This ambitious project is expected to vie for prominence with the Dangote Group's large-scale refinery project, heralding the possibility of creative destruction playing out in the industry. Over the years, Nigeria's reliance on its 4 existing refineries has proven unprofitable. The government expenditure had increasingly skewed towards recurrent spending, leaving minimal funds for critical capital projects like road construction and infrastructure development essential for economic growth. The progress and addition of Bua to the Dangote refineries, which is already existing, may lead to the disbandment of government ownership of the 4 refineries in Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna, viewed by industry observers as futile. This development could also discourage the establishment of numerous licensed modular refineries. Before now, Nigeria refined less than 3% of its fuel demand and imported nearly 98% of the rest, strengthening the downstream sector where 40% of Nigeria's import bill could potentially be saved. Represent one of the most impactful applications of creative destruction to the Nigerian economy. Nigeria's existing 4 refineries and modular refineries are struggling to rise, as the NNPC recently has been churning out news that the 4 refineries are coming on stream. However, the federal government should incentivize players like Bua and Dangote refineries in order to accelerate swift market entry, which promises to be one of the most expeditious and significant diversification efforts Nigeria seeks. When the Bua refinery joins the Dangote refinery and commences operation, market competition will likely drive down petroleum product prices, placing the government in a position to subsidize production rather than consumption, heralding a new era of the country's energy industry. There have been sustained efforts to improve local refining capacity, given that most of the existing and government-owned refineries are moribund. About 80% of the refined petroleum products consumed in Nigeria were currently imported until the Dangote refineries came on stream. By completing Bua's petrochemical refinery, there will be at least an additional 850,000 barrels of local refining capacity, excluding capacities from modular refineries, for Nigeria and Africa at large. Ultimately, this development and the output from the increasing number of local modular refineries are expected to provide the needed supply for local consumption. Overall, activities in the Nigerian oil and gas sectors have improved drastically over the past 3 years. Whilst private sector players such as Dangote, Bua, and the private operators of the growing number of modular refineries are on the one hand increasing refining capacity, the NNPC just finished upgrading part of the Port Harcourt refinery and the Warri refineries, and currently is upgrading the Kaduna refineries. Given the scale of demand for petroleum products in Nigeria and the entire ECOWAS region, the country stands to gain significant export revenues if it increases local refining capacity.